guys, welcome back. And you can probably guess from the title that we have spent a lot of money this year. So if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, you don't know what's going on, we've had a kind of up and down year, let's say that. An up and down year and a half. I found out I was pregnant, surprise pregnancy with my third baby after we had gone through loss. And we were very excited, but it also meant a lot of change for our household. We are a very frugal family and we had to adapt a few things when we found that this third baby was coming along. And a couple of those things meant that we had to spend, we didn't have to. We chose to spend and invest quite a bit of money. So yes, over the last 6 months, we have spent around £30,000, 30k on a couple of things. Yes, 2 things. And I thought I would show you what they were and explain why we did it. And even though we've spent so much money, how we still managed to do it in a frugal way and why we chose methods that we chose, I guess. So you can see, if you haven't seen a couple of my previous videos, my background is different. We built a garden cabin. So we currently have a medium-sized 3-bed semi-detached. If you're from England, then we live in like an ex-council house from the 50s. It is pretty big for the size. It is really sturdy. I love our house, but it was with the third baby on the way, and with my husband working from home, us homeschooling, we are in the house a lot, and we were just quite quickly growing out of it. We don't want to move, or don't really have the funds to move. We could, but I do not want to get a bigger mortgage than we currently have, and we are desperately trying to pay off that mortgage before we choose to move. And where we're choosing to move to is all up in the air. Like the dream, if we were dreaming right now, would be somewhere with land. We would love acreage, but as we all know, especially we live further south in England, then it is expensive. If we were to move up north nearer the Scotland border, we could find that for pretty much how much we'd sell our house for, but we don't, and I'm not sure if we would be willing to move. Maybe for the right house, the right time, right price, but we're not there. So also considering doing an extension on our current house, but that will cost us about £100,000. And where it is an ex-council house, there is definitely a ceiling to how much we could sell it for. And I just don't think we'd make the money back even if we did do the extension. So we are umming and ahhing on that. But in our area, for £100,000 more of a mortgage, if we were to move, you don't get much more than what we currently have. And we do have an amazing garden. We have a really decent sized 3-bedroom house. We're starting to outgrow it. But anyway, let me get to the point. So what we decided to do back in, we started to do it when we started to plan it when we found out I was pregnant. But I think we started the plans kind of actually as soon as our baby was born. But then he got ill and everything was a bit of delay. So we actually built the cabin that I am in between May and June of this year. We cash flowed it, we paid it all cash, and we managed to do it as cheaply as possible, but also while making sure it isn't just going to fall apart and that we do it properly. This whole cabin, I will show you and go into the details of it, but it cost us £10,000 for the whole shebang, everything that's in it, everything that's under it, everything cost us £10,000. And it is pretty big. It is 5 meters by 3 meters, I want to say. Yeah, 5 by 3 meters, which is massive. And it is a office for my husband, but also a home gym. This sofa that you see in the background is not meant to be staying there, but we'll get into that. We decided that we are going to make that 3rd bedroom one of the boys' rooms. Then we are going to have this as our gym and our office. Let me show you around. So we started from nothing. So I'm going to try and film and show you everything. However, my microphone is not great, so I might end up having to voice over. Let's see how we get on. I'm gonna go outside. Oh, but it's gonna be really overexposed, isn't it? Let's see. That is our cabin, and yes, of course, it is yellow because I am a yellow queen. But this is our cabin. It is 5 by 3 meters. With the leftover wood, we have made little planters. But what we have is we have a concrete base. We actually got a landscaper in to do this. Joel was considering doing it, but for the sake of potentially saving £500, he'd prefer security of knowing that it's done properly and well. So it is a concrete base with a wood trim just to keep it neat and enclosed. And then we have put, on the bits that were spare around the edge, we've put planters that we're going to grow flowers in at the moment. They're just like little tomato plants that are popping up from my compost bin, because all of this compost was from our compost down there. But yes, this is our cabin. He literally spent years, it feels like, of research on this. We have our water butts on both sides as well, with some drainage, but this is what we decided to go for. It is a Dunster house cabin. If you were interested, Joel did a ton of research, and he was finding if you wanted to get a prefab one from like a garden centre, it was going to cost like 25 grand, and that didn't even include like the base or the electrics inside. So the shell of the cabin, so what the shell means, it means all of these are individual wood planks like Lincoln logs, and you slide them together and they connect together. And that's how we did it all ourselves. It was really easy to build. We got it up in like a day and a half, I think. Then the windows here are already cut out, but we chose to spend a little bit more money. I think it was an extra £100 or so, and put in this window here. And this whole cabin costed us, the shell of it, about £5,500. The base was about £1,800, and the electric work inside was about just under 2 grand, I think, 1,500, 2 grandish. And yeah, Joel managed to get this, and he had a couple, like my dad helped one day and my brother-in-law helped the other day, but he managed to get this up in about a day and a half. So this is it from the other side, and it is really, really big, and it is quite imposing. And we were originally wanting it down at the bottom of the garden, but it would have just been too much of a faff, because he had to track the electric underground to get it in, and it would have been really hard to get it all the way down here. But also it would have been too much of a faff to move my vegetable garden, because these are huge giant sleepers, and it just wasn't worth it. But yeah, if we go in, so let me show you inside of the cabinet. And at the moment, this is what we still need to work on. We finished it maybe 2 months ago, and we are kind of, again, cash flowing everything. So this was all my husband's work stuff that we already had, and this is what we already had. We're currently dog sitting, so ignore bed. We managed to pick up this little oil radiator for free on Facebook, and then I already had like my mat and everything. And a few things we want to get for it is we wanted to get a treadmill. So we actually found this treadmill in a local charity shop. We were looking at getting some secondhand from Amazon. Not Amazon, what am I talking about? From Facebook. But the problem is that you can't guarantee they're going to work. You don't know how good they are. And it was going to be about £200. We found this in a charity shop, and you get 3 months warranty on it. And it was £110, which I thought was great, and it's been really, really good. And then we also currently got a new sofa. This is our very, very, very old sofa that we are waiting for someone to come and collect, and for free. I was hoping it'd be gone for this video, but it's not. And then my brother-in-law gave us this bike machine for free. We don't know if we're going to keep that, because we're thinking of getting a multi-weights bench here. And then my father-in-law actually gave us these weights for free. He didn't need them anymore, so I have adopted them as mine. And yeah, it will eventually. We've still got a few more bits to go. We want to get some things on the walls. And then our electrics, we've got these lights. This is 2 sets of lights that we've had put up here, and it's great because you can turn them around. We've got 3 double plugs throughout the one behind there throughout the cabin, and then on the outside we also have a sensor which turns on the outside lights. And then if anyone would like a video of Joel going into depth on everything, then please let me know. But we also painted it, and it cost us quite a lot of money to paint. And so Joel did a lot of research on the paint, and to paint the whole cabin, I think it cost us about just like £700, which sounds insane. But he found that he can spend £700 and then he will not need to paint it for like a year, or he can spend like £100 but have to paint it every year or so, and this means that it should keep the cabin going for a lot longer. So It cost us about 10 grand, and we found that if we were to sell the house, we would have made that money back on it as well, at least. So if you would like a video going more into depth on the specific, Joel can sit down and explain everything to you. I can't. I did help him build it, but I don't know the information about that. So if you would like that, please do let me know down below, and I'll see if Joel's up for. But then the other thing that we bought, we bought this, so technically it was last year, but like only a few days before the end of the year. We bought a new car, like not new, but new to us. And we were umming and ahhing about this for a while. We had a Ford Focus before, and we were like, oh, we can squeeze the kids in the back, like squeeze them in, but it wouldn't have been comfortable, it wouldn't have been easy. And we've been umming and ahhing about getting a new car for a while because we just needed a bit more space. Again, where I do homeschool, I go out on so many adventures with the kids, and we bring so much stuff for the whole day with us. We were looking at cars for ages, and there were loads of, we wanted to get a 7-seater, and there were loads of ones that we were kind of umming and ahhing about. The problem we found that a lot of the newer 7-seaters are actually a 5-seater plus 2, which means the maximum height of someone in the back 2 seats, it was like 4'10", and I was like, I just don't see the point in that. Joel is nearly 6'4", and if our kids are anywhere near as tall as he is, they wouldn't fit in there for long. And we were looking around, and it seems that a lot of like traditional old school 7-seaters stopped being made like back in before 2020, and they switched to this 5+2 thing apparently. There was the C4 Grand Picasso that we were looking at, which was really affordable, and we were looking at maybe like 3-year-old one of those, which wasn't going to cost us a crazy amount of money because we can trade in our Ford that we had. But I'm not bougie about many things in my life. I'm pretty simple. I don't care too much about having the best of things. Like, that doesn't bother me, or the certain things. But one thing I really wanted, like Dream Amelia, was like, I really want sliding doors. It's just one less bit of anxiety when you are parking in a closed space, knowing that the kids aren't gonna whack their door into a Range Rover. And what you have to remember, before this, I've always had teeny tiny cars, like a Kia Picanto, a 107 Peugeot, like a Nissan Micra. I've had tiny cars. So, and we had the Ford Focus for about a year, and I really struggled with that because it didn't have parking sensors for one, and if you drive a Ford Focus, they are so much bigger than what people think they are. And I found it really hard parking in the teeny tiny spaces. And I just was like, it would be so much easier with sliding doors. So we looked around, and then what we found is very few sliding doors had automatic sliding doors that you'd have to pull and open them, which was fine. But we viewed a few, and it was really hard to open and close. I don't know why I'm showing you, because you know what that looks like. And the kids couldn't do it. And I was like, oh, I want to be able to have doors that my kids can get in and out of. I don't have to worry about people crashing and bashing other things. And then I can park a giant car in a small space still. And then we found one car that had automatic sliding doors that you just beep, press the button, 7 seats. It was perfect, but they were so expensive. I found, even secondhand, and they stopped making them back in 2020, 2021, which was the Seat Alhambra. So the Seat Alhambras, the Excellence model, have automatic sliding doors, they have a sunroof, they have 7 huge seats, and even with all 7 seats up, I could put my food shopping in the back. And I fell in love. And we were looking for ages, and we went to view about 6 different one of these cars, but there was something wrong with all of them, or they just weren't in the price range, or they sold on our way there. I'm gonna go and show you the car we did decide to go for. So it is a 67 reg Seat Alhambra, and it was a lot more money than we were planning on spending. Our original budget was like around the £15,000 mark, and that we would have cash flowed all of that, and it would have been tight. It means we would have sold our Ford and used a bit of our savings. And I was just like, even I was like, I don't really want to spend that much. But we were amazingly, literally just before Christmas, baby was due, beginning of January, just before Christmas, we still were in the Ford. We still didn't know what we were doing. We were still viewing cars and not sure. We actually were given a gift of a few £1,000s, and meant we could increase the budget of our car search. So we did go for it's still an older car, so we still went for a 67 reg car. However, it had only done 12,000 miles. miles. Because a lot of the Sail or Alhambras were part of the disability scheme, you found that a lot of them had very low mileage. So I will show you around my car that I am in love with. It can fit, if you wanted to, 5 car seats in. No, I'm not pregnant. No, I'm not meant to be having more babies, but I would love more. But I can't convince Joel on that one. We bought this car as an investment. We will look after it, we will invest in it, and we want to have it until our boys are grown up or until it dies, whatever happens first. This costed us, I think, about 18,000, and I've bartered them down from where it was as well. I think I got it like a week or 2 before having my baby. And as you can see, I have a really cool key that opens the doors from here. So often it's been really helpful in really hot days. On my way where I can see the car, I can open these doors and start airing it out. And on the inside we have, it's really, to me, really high tech, because I've always had really basic model cars. Like, it's got heat seaters, it's got like Apple Play and other things. You can see there's 2 little slots by the side of this screen. That's so you can have like a sat nav put in, and still a bit of an older car. It also still has a CD player. And being a millennial, I'm very happy about that. Then what is awesome about this car is there are so many secret compartments. We've got one up the top here, which I keep a few coins and emergency nappies. We've got the panoramic sunroof. You can see there's these buttons here. They actually control the doors, like the sliding doors, so I can open them and close them from the front, which is also really helpful with the kids. And you can also, in the driver's seat, put a child lock on the doors so the kids can't open and close them, which unfortunately I do have to use quite a bit. On my keys, I also have a little button on the side here that can open the boot, which is great when you're doing the food shopping. And you can see we have 5 full seats in the back, all of which can have a car seat on each individual seat. And each of these middle seats can be moved forward and backwards. So at the moment, you can see they are as back as they go. So if you need more leg room on the back 2 seats, then you can just push these forward. A button on the inside here where the kids can operate the sliding doors from the inside.